Yeah, my game crashed and I was still broadcasting a little bit, but then it cut out the broadcast, so that was really annoying. I don't know. I can show off like what these cars can do, because I'm not sure about the Viper around the Nürburgring right now, but I'll definitely show the Mustang because I've been driving that more recently. Now, like, I'm not gonna do manual normally because, as you could tell in the previous one, I shift with the controller because these don't work. And I've showed that in a previous stream before with, it was the BRZ. It was a BRZ drift that I did because we're trying to prove a point to, some guy of the BRZ because he got in Zach's case about drifting a four-wheel drive, but all he was doing was trying out the Veyron, as Zach calls it, exploiting a flawed physics engine. And he got in Zach's case about it, and then he said, well, I bet you can't drift that with Comfort Hearts because I can. And then he was like, oh, well, it's too difficult. And then, well, we both said, well, we can. And then I started the stream just to show that, and then just kind of kept it going, you know. That's what we're gonna do. Sometimes we're just gonna actually I should probably get the camera. It's a little bit low. Okay. Yeah, that's bloody hell. Okay, that should be better. Okay, better. But yeah, this was definitely interesting. I'm gonna try balance of performance, because that's where this thing can do pretty well. I'm not too impressive at tuning, but when I discover something about certain parts, like I recently discovered something about it interesting. I decided to take a new approach to tuning LSDs, and it actually turned out really well. Because normally these slip out quite a bit, but here it's really controlled because it's an FR. The FRs are really good because they're a lot easier to correct. That's what I found, because with the MR format, the back end slips out, it's a little bit harder to correct. With the FR layout, it's easier to correct. There's more weight going over the front wheels, which means there's more grip going into the front wheels. That works to stabilize it a bit, because there's no power going to those wheels, and on MRs, there's barely any weight going to them in comparison to the rest of the car. It's something I'm not really, something I'm not really gonna get too much into explaining, because I probably won't sound like I know what I'm talking about, or I might twist something or something like that. But all I know is it's kind of how physics work, if you think about it. I don't know, I'm just not gonna be good at explaining it. Yeah, this thing is just, it's amazing. Because there was a race that Zach and I did. I didn't stream it because, like, we haven't streamed, we haven't streamed for a while. And, it was a Group 3 racing server with BOP, and we decided to invade it. Initially, I decided to invade it, see how it goes. And then Zach decided to join in, too. And, it was interesting, because he and I were the most dominant in the race. There was actually no doubt about it. And luckily, I've been really consistent with driving lately, because my main problem from a while back was consistency. Like, you can be a fast driver, but it takes a really good driver to master consistency. Because consistency is key when it comes to a race, because a consistent driver is more likely to win than a fast driver. because a fast driver will pull off a really blistering lap and will like leave people behind, but then they will crash. Like, just a straight up fast driver is not consistent, that's what I mean. Because I know there are fast drivers that are consistent, but I mean like fast drivers that are not consistent, that's what's gonna happen. And the consistent driver is gonna consistently run at their own pace. Which means they're gonna be less likely to hit the wall, and if they're going at a decent pace, they're gonna do really well. And that was something I always really lacked, because back in the day of Gran Turismo 6, I sound old when I say that, but it was a while back. I was quick. Not as quick as I am now, but I was a bit quick. But I wasn't really consistent. Because what would always happen is I'd pull off a good lap. And just when I find a way to get better, or like just when I need to just replicate that sort of performance, I end up messing up. Like, there was a race we did around Stowe that was based on Japanese stock specs for the 90s Japanese cars, like the whole 276 horsepower thing. We did a race all about that around Stowe Circuit at Silverstone, and I ran a Spirit RRX-7. We could actually run less power, and it could be any Japanese car. It could even be a newer one, as Zach used to BRZ. I used a Spirit RRX-7, and now I qualified pretty well. I was in like third, I think. I don't remember the race too well, and I don't have a replay of it or anything. But I qualified pretty well. But then what happened was I ended up setting the best lap. I think it was 57 seconds. No one in the race could beat it. But my problem was, I blitzed my way into the lead at the beginning of the race. But then when it got toward the end of the lap, or I think it was a later lap, like I think it was the second or third or something like that, or maybe it was later on that same lap. Whatever, it was pretty soon. And I went off the track, and believe me, I did not recover very well either, so I ended up being overtaken by just about everybody. And, and I just kept messing up. It kept going. Actually, I don't remember when I set the 57-second lap, but it was somewhere in the middle of the race where I just suddenly just threw that lap in. Nobody could beat it. We actually had a challenge to see if anybody could beat it and be the king, well, be like the king of Stowe, which was really interesting. And I think the highest we got, I think it was probably something that Zach set. It was like 56 or something? I don't remember. It was ages ago. My voice cracked. It was ages ago. But yeah. So I mean, like, you see how I'm running now in these streams. I ran a much worse. Like, my results were always like last place or second to last place, because my consistency was bad. Like, I was fast, but my consistency was really bad. But now I've gotten a little bit the hang of it, ironically, as I am really messing up right now. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know, just guess I'm a little bit fatigued. It's like 10 o'clock. Or 11 at this point. I don't know. So yeah. Something that'll probably do that to you. So yeah, like, I mean, if you want to be a good driver, one thing you really want to do is master consistency, because consistency is a really big factor in whether you win a race or not. Now, in the last race that Zach and I did, well, I kind of digressed from it, but here's the story. I joined the server, and we can be douchebags to people sometimes. I don't know what it is. We just are sometimes. I went on and I saw that the guy was running AIDS, but the thing is, in my defense, the reason why I called him out was because his lobby was called Are You Man Enough? Now, in every single stream, the only aid that I run is automatic transmission. That's because I cannot actually shift the gears with the wheel. So that becomes very problematic because, I mean, I can pull that controller crap off with a drift pretty well, but like actually racing is difficult. I don't know, I'm probably not pushing this thing as hard as I can. But yeah. And he was running ABS, and I decided to roast him. I decided to call him out for it. And then someone else called me out for using automatic transmission. I'm like, hey, hang on. That's the only thing I'm running. My voice kind of died there. That's the only thing I'm running. Because, I mean, I used to run ABS, but I don't know. After a while, you really do get used to it. Like, you really do manage with it. It really gets you going, and it really does improve your driving. And, so I decided, you know what, like, I'm gonna dominate this race. And then I realized, wait, I've been, like, trash talking a bit. I'm gonna need to prove myself. I was a little bit frightened, because whenever it came to stuff like that, sometimes luck just didn't go my way and I wouldn't be able to deliver. I qualified second. That was already a good indicator. Everybody was running racing super softs. I ran racing softs. For some reason, I have no idea why. The Viper was quicker with racing softs, but I changed the setup on the fly in that race. Modded the LSD because of what I recently tried out with LSDs. The car gripped up so well, it was immense. But yeah, like, I gripped up really well. Actually, I think I'll just stop embarrassing myself with this. And I'll show the footage, because this was really interesting. It was quite an interesting race. It was a little bit exhilarating for me because purely based on how hard I was able to push the car, I was pushing it really hard. It was awesome. So yeah, I ended up qualifying second. Now this footage will speak for itself. It was indeed quite a race. Zach ended up winning, of course. But this also shows, like, you really need to get the hang of... The one thing I really need to get the hang of, too, now is, pit strategies. So this is the Viper I was running. On the back it says Baby on Board and Walking Dad. It's a gag Viper. So already at the beginning, I'm gonna do interior view. Already from the beginning, I was going in second, and I decided to go a little bit lenient into the first corner, because, you know, it's the beginning of the race, so everybody just started kind of, like, diving through, going hard. And then I ended up dropping to fourth. This is why, like, everybody just started taking each other out right there. There's one thing you definitely notice, and one thing that you definitely need to learn, and a lot of other people point out about racing, is going into the first corner at the start of the race, just at the start of the race, you kind of want to take it easy. You don't want to attack it too aggressively, because it's going to get packed. So if you do that, there's a good chance you're going to hit someone. Now right here, I was able to, like, really just get on the throttle. That's what I loved about this car. I could really just get on the throttle just get the power down immediately, like when I felt like, okay, I'm past the point where I need to be lifting off. Because, right, points like that, a group 3 would probably just slide and, like, you'd have a bad time. You'd probably spin it or something, go into the wall, something like that. No, this thing just gripped. I was running racing softs here, as you can tell. As you can tell, other people were running, like, racing super softs. Oh, this person was running hards. This person was running softs. Actually, a lot of people were running softs. That's interesting. I actually never realized that. But there were a lot of people running super softs, and for some reason, this thing worked really well with just softs. And what was really interesting is I built up quite a gap, as you could tell. It just kept increasing, and it was crazy. I don't know how I managed it. Like, I was really pulling away, and I just kept increasing the gap from the pack. Zach, on the other hand, was running here. He was running in the Weeb car right here. And he was running here in 5th, and he was chopping his way up the grid. I was already at the front of the pack, and needless to say, I was doing pretty well. I messed up a few times like that, but the thing is, this car was really weak. It was really forgiving, for some reason, which is really astonishing for a face like this. But yeah. Oh yeah, I hit the wall there and got damaged, and then that's around the time I needed to pit. Oh wait, no, I went a lot further, and I still actually built a lead, which was really crazy. And I'm just gonna skip ahead, because I mean, this is just getting a little bit old. That's at the best time. And eventually I decided to pit in, and then during that Zach took full advantage and he ended up overtaking me, as you'll see right there in the little thing right there. I don't know what to call it. It's late. Don't judge. I ended up exiting at 7th. Now, what was crazy was just how I managed to handle this, because, like, I was just chopping my way through, man. It was great. Well, kind of chopping my way through. I was managing really well, and I actually had the potential to get a better time than what you're gonna see me get as my best time in this race, but just didn't luck out, just didn't get the chance to do it for some reason. Either I would mess up on the lap and it would be kind of slower, or it would be or like my tires were worn. I overtook the sponge right here in the pits, and then I just started my chase. I don't remember what the gap between Zach and I was. It's really annoying that it doesn't show it on there, because it would be really nice if you could just see in live timing. Well, I guess the best we can do is here. And I mean, I was doing relatively well for some reason. It was really great. As you can see, I was decreasing my gap pretty significantly. Man, this was great. Eventually I took 2nd. Yeah, I set this time. It's a pretty good time for BOP. Could have been better, honestly. At this point, my tires were really worn, so I actually couldn't go any faster anymore. So then I decided to, well, I didn't decide here yet. Eventually, I discovered just how bad my tire wear was. Sorry if I'm making you guys yawn, and sorry for yawning so much and wiping my eyes, because for some reason my eyes tear whenever I yawn. But yeah. So my tires were really worn, so eventually I noticed it was really taking a toll on how I was driving, and I was getting quite a bit of understeer actually. So I decided to put in for Racing Super Softs because I was hoping that would give me the edge that I needed. But what I didn't realize is somehow I drove this thing past over Racing Softs. Now you're gonna see probably the most interesting part of the race. This was insane. Okay, here we go. I think it was on this lap, because I think it was as soon as I exited the pits. Yeah, it's here. Check this out. I managed to narrowly save it. Okay, I'm gonna show it from a better perspective, because that was close. Maybe this will show a really good perspective on it. It was a close one. Because as you can see right here, it just started to just get crazy. And as you can tell right there, I nearly hit the wall, managed not to. It was a great save. Actually, maybe here will be the best. It was a great save. Because I ran a little bit too much off the track, and the car just didn't like it. Right there. Oh, crap, wrong button. Sorry guys, I'm gonna do this a few times because I want to see this real quick. I want to show this real quick. This was immense. Okay. Right here. Wait a second. Right here. That far from the wall. It was a close save. Now, whoops. And, yeah. They ended up commenting on that because it was a really good save. And, yeah. Now, I really started, like, chopping my way up this way. And if you keep an eye on the live timing, you're gonna see, like, I really closed the gap. It was crazy. Because I remember toward the end of the race, I was several seconds behind second place, and I managed to just like, like, my times, like, my pace was really good, for some reason. It was great. As you can see right there, I ended up taking third. And if you just keep an eye on the time gap right there, right next to the tires, between me and second place, you're gonna see like just how this went down. It'd be nice if it would show on the thing on the side, so you could actually see what was going on. Because I feel it's a little bit annoying having to do this, but I mean, just want to give you guys an idea on how this was going. Now, after the first sector, now it goes from 11.5 seconds, 10 seconds, closed a second already. And, I just started getting closer, because I remember, like, the number was really, like, changing. Now it's 10 seconds. I probably don't remember this exactly, but let's just see what happens once it goes to the next sector. Close it by 2 seconds. It continued like that, and I just kept closing it. And I think going on to the final lap, I was getting pretty close. I really closed the gap on this guy. It was crazy. I ended up finishing 2 seconds behind because my tires were just giving out. It was horrible. Like right there, I just closed another 2 seconds. It was crazy. I think I kind of mucked up too. So you're probably gonna see like I just kind of wasn't at that pace and then I just got back right onto it. I just got right back onto it. I really could have set a better time, but it's just my tire wear just wasn't having it. And I closed the gap by a second. It was really good. I don't think I ever had this good of a run with a group 3, because the group 3s in this game I always struggle with for some reason. It was always bad, you know? As you can tell, like, the guy in front of me wasn't too consistent, but I guess this just wasn't his lap, and I ended up catching up another second. Now, as you can see, my tire wear was really kicking in at this point. So I had to be very careful, but I was determined, so I was charging like a madman. I was charging like a bat out of hell. And then there he is, right there. 2 seconds behind, but I ended up understeering here, which cost me a lot, and just didn't help. And, well, that was the race. We ended up finishing, Zach finished in first. He had a really good tire strategy, like pitting strategy. And then I ended up finishing third. Pretty good result. Like, it was a crazy race, and I was just like, I need a cup of tea after that. It was great. Actually, I can probably show around Dragon Trail just how great this thing was. I'll run it with the same tires, because it's going to be running the same setup, obviously. I made a new livery for it, because because Zach and I plan on making a GT championship. We're not sure if it's going to happen or not. We don't have enough people. But, I'm hoping at least we'll be able to do it. He kind of lost motivation for it, as he said early on in the previous stream, which is kind of this stream too. We're doing it kind of like Super GT. We're calling it the Otaku Battle Club. I don't remember what it's called. It has something to do with Otaku Battle Club though. I called this the Bongo Cat Viper, because it's got Bongo Cat on the side of it. It's great. So yeah. This thing was a beast. I don't know how much power it's running right now, but we'll see how it goes. Like, yeah, like right there. If that was a regular sort of setup, it would probably just like slip and just kill itself. But like, it's gripping so well. I can really just get on the throttle without having to worry about... Oh, okay, I overestimated that. Without wheel spin. It's great. It's exactly what I want. I like nice, stable cars. It's just the way I am, and I've got a pretty smooth driving style, rather than aggressive like Zach. So yeah, I don't know, you eventually find like what racing style works for you, and then that's when you're at your best. Is when you're using the driving style that works for you. It seems that smooth driving works for me, because whenever I drive aggressively, it just doesn't work. But yeah, as you can tell, this thing's just crazy. It was so good. Now, this probably wasn't the fastest I actually could have gone around here, which is... Yeah, this actually is not the fastest I could go around here. Because, like, that chicane, I actually took it a little bit quicker. I don't know, let's see what I can do now. It's a little bit later on, too, at night. It's almost the next day, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go. But yeah, it was a little bit weird right there, but, you know. Oh, I ran a little bit too much off the track right there, but it wasn't too bad. Oh, crap. Yeah, that's how I ran through that chicane. That's what I like about this track, is I can just fly through there. I remember, like, when I first started this game, I used this track as a test track. It's fun. I actually quite like the track. Zach doesn't like it because it's used a lot. I mean, I get it, but I just like it, you know? It's a good track. Now, that's how the Viper runs, and when I built the Mustang, I hijacked the setup from this car. It's the exact same setup, and it works, which was just astonishing. I'm gonna run BOP with it, because why not? What I was amazed about is the BOP gives this 598 horsepower. That's broken. 598 freaking horsepower. To give you an idea, I can pull out something that didn't quite get the lucky end of the spectrum with that. I also didn't look so much at the weight, because the weight's normally not that different. It's like 2,900 pounds for that one. Let's check out my 9-cat Porsche. Now, BOP gets 529 horsepower. It's got 2,900 pounds. Now, the Mustang, it really lucks out with the BOP. It's ridiculous. I could not believe it when I saw this. Like, I was just thinking, that's too much power. That's insane. Anyway, like, as you can see, it kind of goes about the same. Actually, I'm gonna run it on softs just like I ran with the Viper, just to see what I can do with it. You know? I'm gonna run full downforce like I normally do, because I turned down the downforce for the Nürburgring, but every other time it was full downforce. I know it hurts straight line speed, but it's whatever. Yeah, this thing just really turns in. Now, I haven't driven this around here before, so it's going to be a little bit interesting, because it's got different power and different weight, too. So that's going to be a little bit of a factor, too. But we're just going to see how it runs. Didn't take that too well, but oh well. Still managed to come out alive. As you can see, there's a lot, like, you don't have to worry too much with these cars for some reason. It's like with these setups, you don't have to worry too much, which is really nice. I quite like that. You can be like you can just go crazy with it, and it'll drive just, oh god, and it'll drive just fine. Like right there, like that was weird. I ran a little bit too much on the rumble strips and ended up bumping on something. But yeah, oh no, I went a little bit too hard into there, but as you can tell, it didn't kill me. That's the nice thing, when you mess up, it's little. It's little. It's not really that significant. And you can recover from it, pretty well, which is really nice. And this is what I like to call the love stank, because it's based on my relationship right at the moment. And I was really proud of myself for being able to make this thing legitimately fast. It was just amazing. Like, see right there, it's a really good time. 1:39.9, now that's really good. Because in the last race that I showed with the replay, that was BOP. The Viper with the BOP gets 548 horsepower, so this thing's kind of at a similar pace as you can tell. It's really nice. Anyway, I think that might just do it for today. This wasn't too interesting, but decided to do it for today because, you know, it's Valentine's Day, you know, why not? So anyway, well, I'm pretty sure, like, there's one thing that I'm gonna add that, like, I'm pretty sure was kind of obvious. I added both our names onto it, but, like, both my girlfriend and my name onto it. As you can tell, mine's on the right. I'm actually from New Zealand. But yeah. And I put the cross in there. It's a clever little thing that I decided to throw in there. But yeah. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. We're probably gonna have more interesting streams down the line, but there are gonna be some streams that are gonna be kind of like this, which is just kind of like chill. Not really anything too interesting. Hope you enjoyed it. Not sure if you would. I don't think people would enjoy this. But oh well. We just make the videos and we see what worked and we just see if people like it. We're gonna be doing the videos anyway. Hope you guys had a good day. We'll see you guys. Well, I'll see you guys in the next stream because Zach is asleep right now. And yeah. The next one will probably be a little bit more energetic. Hopefully it'll be early on in the day, so we've got more energy and then we can, and it'll be a bit more back and forth banter as it normally is. So we'll see you guys in the next one.